Mike, what's good with you, brother?
What's up, bro? I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. First of all, I appreciate you giving me the time to talk to you. I know you got the big fight with Jake Paul coming up in like 3 weeks, July 20th. I don't have a lot of time with you, so we'll just get right into it, man. Um, First off, I mean, obviously, you're a combat sports badass. You've pretty much done it all in every combat sport there is. So I'm curious, why do you think Jake Paul decided to fight you?
I mean, it's just a fight. He sparred with a lot of good people, a lot of tough fighters, and I was one of them a couple years ago, and he wants to see the advancements he's made, and he wants to test himself against the advancements I've made, and I'm look and I've earned this opportunity. This is a big opportunity for me. All the fighting, all the winning I've been doing. Uh, we've both been talking a lot of shit, if you will, and it's time to show the world something. A real fight here. Let's see what the kid's got. I'm looking to, make him look like fresh fish.
Yo, you mentioned all the experience that you've had since you guys did do that sparring. You've been in with some big names, you've gotten some big victories. I'm sure he's been, watching or at least has had an eye on some of those fights that you've had. Uh, just going back to that sparring session, I mean, when was that? Was that like 3 years ago?
Something like that.
Was it
Yeah, I've been,
before? Was it
I've
like
been
around
doing.
the Ben Askren time?
Yeah, it was right before the Ben Askren fight, right before I fought D-Rod.
Okay, okay. So at that time, he was just kind of getting his feet wet with this boxing thing. Like how did that sparring session even come about? Like, were you aware of his situation, or was this just some other guy that, you know, wanted to spar?
No, he was a hot topic at the time. I was down in Miami. I was living there, and he was popping up as this guy who knocked out a basketball player and maybe one other guy who wasn't a fighter in the boxing ring, and he was talking big shit to fighters like Canelo and Conor McGregor, guys who had established their careers, and he was sparring people around Miami. I was in Miami. I was like, yo, let me go get that work. Let me see what that punch is like. And yeah, I felt that punch. It made me smile. I was like, oh, I get it. I get the kid's got some pop. And, you know, he skipped the line a little bit, and that's where a lot of fighters had issues because they came up on the circuit. He was able to come in and just get the attention and the draws, and try to start calling for the big fights. And but then all the talking he was doing, it seems like he was setting up the right fights for himself. And this time, he's not. This time, he's putting himself in a real challenge, in my opinion.
You mentioned he was setting up the fights for himself. I just imagine, obviously he has that big Mike Tyson fight that was supposed to be going on that date, but now it's pushed back. But he still plans on having it. So I can't imagine that he really wants to jeopardize losing that opportunity. So I'm assuming when he decided, yeah, I'll fight Mike Perry, he probably was thinking back to that sparring session you guys had during that time. When you did spar, like did you take it seriously at the time, or did you just kind of go into it thinking, yeah, this guy's a YouTuber, let me just kind of play with him a little bit, or was it like legit, heavy toe to toe sparring?
Well, it was. It gradually picked up. And as it picked up, I wore down on him like my plan was, as I'm the more experienced professional fighter. And when I came out, the sparring started, and he, I hit him in like 15 seconds. I hit him with a good body shot, and
Mm.
he grunted, and he's like, "Oh, good body shot," and he adjusted. And that's what, because after I hit him with that body shot, I did lighten up a little bit because I wanted just some work. I wanted some work.
Mm.
And then he hit me a couple times, and I was like, okay, I pick it back up. I'm trying to get back, put more pressure, try to get more punches on him. I saw how he moved, how he used his footwork, and he dodged. He dodged big dodges. Like he ducked his head real low. And in MMA, we weren't seeing that. Plus, I have been training for a southpaw MMA fighter in Daniel Rodriguez at the time, and I was a week out from that fight, and I was already down 179 pounds, cutting to 170. And Jake had some size on me, but I had the pressure and the experience. And once I took a couple of his good shots, that really broke him down a little bit. He wasn't sure. Usually I'm assuming when he hits people like that, they don't stay there and keep coming after him. And that's where he got to see where Mike Perry is different. And I think, he wants to have a real good fight. I think that's what he wants. I don't think he's looking past this fight, no matter what he says about getting the Mike Tyson fight in November. He can't be looking past me. And if he is, then it's going to be a quick night for him. I'm going to knock him out sooner than expected.
Yeah, advantage Mike Perry if he's looking past you. Just since that time, obviously you've been in some big fights. He's been in some big fights. How much do you think the two of you have changed since that sparring session, or have you changed at all?
I've definitely changed for the better, as life's journey is little by little, is day by day, poco a poco, is give you everything you need as you need it and as it comes. And I was training for MMA back then, punching, kicking, grappling, takedown, jujitsu, the whole nine. And since then I've been doing just boxing for the last 3 years, and brawling, boxing, punching, in the pocket, in the heat of the moment, in the center of the ring, going blow for blow. That's my bread and butter. I'm tough, and I give it back as well. So, you know, I don't think he hits hard enough, and it doesn't matter what I think. We're gonna get in the ring, and I'm gonna prove it to the world. They want to discredit me or anything that I've done in the past years because what I didn't have gloves on. They think not fighting with gloves on is gonna make it harder for me when I do put gloves on. Well, I spar every week with 16s and headgear, and I can't practice bare knuckle. So, you know, the I train with gloves, and then when I get to get in the ring with no gloves on, you see what happens. It's a quick night for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually seen a couple of your interviews, and it sounds like, I mean, obviously you're not going to give away your game plan, but it does kind of sound like you're not going to waste any time when you get in there. You're just going to, meet them at the center of the ring and let's go, So, having said that, you have been in these bare knuckle fights, and they seem to be faster paced. Do you think that's going to give you an advantage going into this fight with Jake Paul? And again, I don't expect you to give away, your game plan, but can you kind of let the fans know what to expect when you do get in there on July 20th?
I mean, I plan to fight. I plan to bring it to him, and I plan not to waste any time. That doesn't mean that I uh, am not allowed to be strategic about it. I will be sharp. I will be technical. I will pick my moments well. I will put the pressure on and roll with the punches and hit them back. So, I plan to bring it and it be an intense fight, even with gloves on. And now, I mean, those 10-ounce gloves, I feel like they're paper thin and they might as well be bare knuckle. I feel like I'm gonna hit harder without it being bare knuckle. My punch is gonna come through with more concussive energy, and the bare knuckle just kind of it hits people and breaks their skin open. With the glove, it's gonna be more like mental penetrating, like brain trauma. and and you know, um, I'm looking forward to it, man. Getting hit and hitting them back. I'm looking forward to the whole thing.
Mike, I'm looking forward to it as well, brother. I appreciate the time as always. Make sure you don't do all the promotion. Make him do some work too, man. Anything else you want to let the fans know before I let you go?
Man, I'm super grateful to be fighting back in Florida, back at home, and I'm grateful for all the support, all the hate, all the eyes on this fight. Mike Perry's the one that gets to do it, gets to fight Jake Paul, and I'm gonna show you guys what you've been doing wrong all this time. I deserve to go down in history as a fighting legend, as a warrior, as a gladiator, and I'm a savage, bro. So when I get in that ring, that's my true home. I belong there.